Okay, well, welcome to the Threesome, y'all. This is the podcast where the three of us try to talk about at least three topics each week. And the three of us are our point person Star, who is also our optimistic realist.
Itchy, gitchy, yeah.
So unnecessary. And the center of our threesome.
Actually in a good mood this week.
The center of our threesome is Magic, and he is our voice of reason.
Hug your kids, people.
Do you need a hug? Because, I'm willing. I'm always willing.
Time and space.
Y'all see how he does me?
Virtual hug.
And bringing up the rear, as always, it's me, Storm, and I identify as the pragmatic contrarian. By the time this airs, Valentine's Day will have already passed.
Yay!
Either of you guys
I hope
have
all
any
y'all
plans?
get pregnant.
Why are you cussing at me?
I'm gonna be in the house chilling as me and my ex box. Fuck all that bullshit.
Oh, I'm like, you and your ex? Really? I was like, yeah.
I'm honestly getting conceited to the point where, these broads ain't worth dick.
Wow.
Y'all walk the earth since puberty hit, thinking niggas ain't worth the pussy. I'm keeping equal rights here.
Okay. Well, at least you got one gift.
Yes. Which I'm waiting to open.
Which I think you'll enjoy. I'm hoping you'll enjoy.
I thought you was going to send me the Clone of Willie thing for sure, and I'm like, those don't fit. But all right.
Oh, wait.
Wow.
Thank you.
They make stuff like that?
They do. Yeah. And that is definitely an idea, and I should do that, because...
Honestly, I've tried once. It's... No. But we have a friend with a 3D printer.
They didn't provide you with enough clay?
It's not for much above average.
Okay, yeah. You needed more polymer, is what you're saying. I got it. I'll send you two.
That sounds like something that should never go on a penis. Polymer.
Dries really quick.
Yep.
Clone of Willie, silicone penis casting kit for DIY.
I'm mad you really looked it up like I was making up shit. I know my dick.
That is so hilarious to me. $59.99. You can clone a Willie.
I think it went up.
For the record, that would be a Valentine's gift for me, not for you.
Roundabout way trying to gift yourself. I know, it's a smaller box.
Hilarious.
Anyway, I hope you enjoy it.
I will call you Sunday and let you know.
And you have amused Star, apparently.
We can run through a whole bunch of shit you can look up and be amused.
I believe she's over there thinking about who she can clone right about now.
I know exactly.
That's the natural process.
Oh, wow.
The dude's still counting quarter inches after 10.
Wow.
No, not him.
I don't think you even use a ruler anymore. I think you just kind of eyeball it now.
Clone of Willie plus balls.
Wow, is that extra?
Yes.
I'm like, is there a vibration option?
I think there is on one of them.
I was going to say, I could do wonders with their marketing department. But anyway.
It's got to be better than putting Safari on the box.
Well, yeah, I don't think I want any part of that. So Star.
Hilarious. Anyway, go ahead.
Are you big on the romantic gestures?
That said it.
Yes and no. Like, okay, so here's the thing. The last couple of serious relationships that I was in, they were not big on the romantic gestures thing. Not at all.
Uh-huh.
Man ain't shit, girl.
Forget Valentine's Day at any point. You know, it's just like, oh, that's unnecessary, or I celebrate you every day, and all of this other BS. But I did have one, well, I had two who were really big on the romantic gestures thing. And even though I'm not saying that I want that all the time, I think I at least just wanted one more time, just that one over the top, wow, like type thing. I just wanted one more time. It's the romantic in me.
Hmm. What about you, Magic? You like the romantic
Oh
gestures?
man, do I like giving
Of
or
course
receiving?
not.
Receiving.
The things most people, especially women, think is romantic, I really don't. So nah, I don't.
So what's your
Huh.
idea of romance?
Peace of mind.
I was gonna say we'll see
Mm,
when he opens what I got him.
yeah.
Oh, it's romantic,
It is to me.
and that's all that counts to women.
It probably isn't to anybody else, but it is to me.
I
No.
know.
Um,
Speaking for myself, I tell any woman I plan on being with for a while up front, I'm not romantic, but I'm practical than a motherfucker.
well, see, to me that is romantic.
We're here.
Well, no, I'm serious.
There should be more of you walking around.
A big romantic gesture to me is, you know what? Let me go in here and knock out these dishes, girl.
But that's regular shit.
Yes, but that's romantic to me. You know what I
How
mean?
badly have you been treated?
Mm. That's a discussion for another day. Let's go somewhere where we can both have fun. Let's go to the basketball game. You know what I mean? Like that stuff to
Ah,
me.
did I tell you what I did for the last Valentine's Day I celebrated?
What'd you do?
She was a big Dwayne Wade fan.
Okay.
So this was his last tour or whatever. So I figured out when the Heat played the Wizards, and I bought tickets in the second row behind the away bench so we could sit
See?
there and holler at the players and everything else. Originally, I didn't want to go, but then I was like, nah, she might take a side dude, so let me go on and go.
Why didn't you want to go?
D Wade's cool, but I couldn't care less. And it's the Wizards and
Uh,
the Heat 2 years ago wasn't really,
oh, well, yeah.
not that the tickets reflected that, but it wasn't the game to see.
Right.
It was
I
actually
mean,
cool. You learn which NBA players are really scrubs and which ones are better than you thought they were. Plus, it's better to be able to talk shit where they can hear you.
I would always be down to go see the Heat, but
This was
yeah,
two
I mean,
years ago. It wasn't the same team.
oh, I understand
I
that, but
mean,
it's the
Bam was
Heat.
there,
And
but he was on his second year, I want to say.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest display of basketball, but it was still the Heat, and that's my team. So I'm always down to
Uh,
see them if I don't
Bradley
have to
Bill was
pay.
out there cooking.
I'm sure he was.
Actually, I bought the game because I realized you can go back on NBA TV and buy any game you want for $2. So I bought it, and
Oh,
I'll send that to her this Valentine's Day. Like, this is what happened when you had a functional husband.
wow.
I'm
Aw.
such a sweetheart. See, I'm romantic.
Mm.
Serve
Well,
up divorce papers the next week.
speaking of that, I guess my problem with romantic gestures is that most people's idea of romantic is very self-serving.
Word. Love
And
languages are real. Learn your partners and feed into it.
right, I've had dudes do these romantic gestures that have gone wrong.
The Victoria's Secret that don't fit.
No, I was in a class with this one dude, and he called himself liking me or whatever. And he calls me one day because he had been trying to talk to me, and I was talking to him, and he seemed all right, but he was very clingy, pushy, over the top, I guess, in his zest.
Disgracing a brother for effort.
No, no, no. It was just a lot. And at that time, I had a lot going on. And I didn't have time for that. He wanted us to be in this relationship, and I barely knew him. So I didn't really have time to navigate that. So he calls me one day He didn't even ask me what I was doing. He's like, clear your calendar on Saturday.
Initiative.
Why am I clearing my calendar on Saturday? Oh, because I'm going to take you, and this is how long ago it was, I'm going to take you to the Tony Braxton concert. I don't want to go to the Tony Braxton concert. Like I had absolutely zero desire to go. Oh, come on. You don't tell me you don't like her. I do like her. I don't want to see her in concert. That's not a concert I feel like I'd enjoy. So I was like, nah, I don't want to go. This man got mad at me talking about, well, I already bought the tickets. Okay, what's that got to do with me? You should have asked me first.
He was trying to surprise you.
I get that, but with something like that, we had never had a discussion about Toni Braxton. It wasn't like I was over here like, oh, she's my favorite artist and I would love to see her in concert. And then he surprised me. We had never even had a discussion about it. And then he's like, oh, yeah, this is what we're doing. No, it's not. It might be what you're doing, not what I'm doing.
I
Sorry.
feel like your man's was just showing initiative and you fucked his whole hopes and dreams up.
Exactly.
Okay,
To be
y'all
clear,
gonna
you
make.
didn't have to go if you didn't want to go, but let a brother down easier.
I was about to say, y'all really gonna make me the bad guy in this?
You're not the bad guy for not wanting to
No.
go. You're the bad guy for how you handled it.
How was I supposed to? I tried to be nice at first. He was trying to go to a place that I wasn't trying to be at that point in my life.
So you just weren't into him.
No, she wanted him to hit it and quit it.
I didn't know him well enough,
Because
and
you
then I
didn't
found
give
out
him a chance.
No, that's not it. Because when I said I didn't want to go, he got angry with me. Okay,
Okay,
and
that is a
all of a
bitch
sudden,
move.
and that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Red flag, even.
And incidentally, that is a thing about men that irritates my soul. And I don't even blame men for it, I blame women, honestly.
Let's
Because
go.
because these men think that if they spend money on you, then they own your time, mind, body, and soul. And that you owe them something. I don't owe you shit. I didn't tell you to go buy those tickets without talking to me. So him getting mad at me, like I had better go to this concert with him, that was just irritating to me. And that was also the last time I spoke to him. And I ignored his ass even in class after that.
I appreciate dude trying, but yeah, the getting mad about it's a red flag. At some point, he was probably sitting at a Tony Braxton concert with one of his boys.
I get that. When you're going to do a big romantic gesture, don't do it based on what you want to do. You should do it based on what you think the other person would enjoy.
Like a threesome.
Not
Okay,
quite,
so here's
but
my thing about that. You guys didn't really know each other, so he took a shot in the dark and he missed.
It happens. A lot.
Yeah.
But free is free.
Yeah, that too. But as you stated, you're different. And that's not even me trying to be funny. You just have a different mindset and a different way about you. Because with me, there's pretty much no musician, no artist that I like that I couldn't go sit in a free concert. Let's go have some drinks. Let's dance. Let's have some fun. For me, concerts are not just about sitting there listening. It's about that whole vibe that live music brings. So, especially for somebody that I want to chill with, it's like,
it
all right,
depends
let's
on the
do it.
venue with me. At a club, an adult club, not one of those where people are jumping around everywhere. If it was that kind of vibe at a dinner club or something and she's gonna be up there singing, I'd go for that. I don't want to go and listen to her sing in an arena. I just don't. That's just not where I want to hear Toni Braxton. Love her music, don't want to hear it at the Palace.
The only time venue is even a concern with me basically is There's concerts that are like stand-up concerts only. I don't want to go do that. I didn't want to go do that when I was younger.
Right.
Because artists sometimes are late and they run over and it's just in this mosh pit of a bunch of people. Like, I don't want to do that.
Right.
But I don't care if it's like a small place or an arena. Like, I can make a party out of anything. So,
Yeah.
That is the spirit.
Yeah. See, with me, if it's going to be an arena, it has to be somebody I really like, especially if I'm not going to be up close.
I hate going to see anything at Masonic Temple only because I don't know how many hundreds of years old that place is. But first of
Yeah.
all, the seats are made out of wood, so they're not comfortable whatsoever. And
They aren't.
they were made when the average body type was probably about 20 or 30 pounds thinner.
Yeah.
Also, there are some inclines in that place that just, oh, I love walking through there just to see the architecture, the crown molding, and all that stuff. But
Right.
Masonic Temple is a nightmare to go on a date. And I'm not even talking about fluffy like me. If you're over a size 12, 14, more than likely you're going to be uncomfortable. And don't
Yeah.
try to walk through that mug in heels. Oof. But anyway,
Yeah.
Detroit, are you listening? Actually, one of the best concerts I ever been to was one I didn't want to go to, so it happens sometimes.
And I've gone places where I didn't want to go and I've had fun, but at the time I was working 60 hours a week. I was taking a full load of classes. I just really wanted to enjoy my weekend calmly. Like, I just really did not want to go to a concert. Now, if he had said, I got tickets and New Edition is going to be there, or Prince, I'd have been like, bet. Like, what time should I be ready? I'll go do that in the arena. And by the way, he was the one that was hurt more by that because at the time, the reason he was taking anatomy and physiology was because he was trying to be a nurse. And so, because I was working in nursing administration, I had told him that I would try to get him a job as a nurse's aide or something at the hospital so he'd get some experience. And then he checked out on me like that, and I was like, I ain't doing nothing for you.
Just
So,
evil.
so
how am I evil?
screw your career, cuz no.
Because your
Right.
ass bought me concert tickets without consulting me.
I mean,
Yeah.
Just wonder why I'm
yeah.
single on purpose.
I mean, okay. I'll be a little bit of a bitch. That's okay.
He didn't say that about you.
That's
I
okay.
don't
I'll
call
be
black
that
women
though.
bitches anyway, but yeah.
I mean,
Evil,
hey.
yeah.
All right. Well, if that's evil, then that's what I am, I guess.
Now, when he turns out to be a serial killer, you'll know it was all your fault.
Or that I dodged a bullet. One or
That
the
too.
other, right?
Both.
So, what's the most scared you've ever been?
This is how old I am. Remember when the grocery stores used to have the 2, 3 arcade games in the front?
Yes.
So I was walking down the street. I went and played Street Fighter, middle of the night. I'm walking back home and I see a car coming towards me. The only reason it stuck out in my head is because it had one headlight. It turns off. Okay, I think nothing of it. Apparently, they went around the block and came back around. And I'm like, okay, heads up. They get close to me, start slowing down. I'm like, all right, it's about to be some bullshit. Car full of Mexicans, and not to be racist, but it is racial. Everybody know you can't knock a Mexican out. You can knock them down, you can't knock them out. And
Wait, what?
listen, I've been in a lot of fist fights. I'm comfortable fighting
Okay.
2, 3 people. All right, I'm good. I'm not fighting a carload of Mexicans.
Was this in my hometown?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is the 90s. It's the where you from, fool, all that shit. I've never been a gangbanging type dude. Yeah, I don't do all that shit. Nah, you were so and so. So, like, yeah, whatever, nigga. They start piling out the car. I take off. I'm fast at the time. Now, not so much. But I take off. I shoot around the corner. And I forgot what it's called, the little indention in the house before the door.
The vestibule?
Anyway, yes, the vestibule. I can't pronounce that right now. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm balled up and I don't want to open the door because I don't know how close they are to me. So I hear a gunshot go off and I'm like, fuck. So then I
Wow.
open the door, I run to the house, I grab the biggest knife I could find, and I'm just sitting in the kitchen floor, rocking back and forth in embryo position, like, all right, it's
With the
on.
knife. What were you going to do with the knife?
Better than I was going to do barehanded.
Okay. I'm just saying against a gun. I mean,
I mean, it's only one gun. I could get the motherfucker that got the gun first. In my head,
oh,
I'm
I
an
thought maybe
action
you thought
hero.
you would use the blade to deflect the
Man,
bullet
what
or
the
something. I
fuck
know
am I,
what you were going
Blade?
to.
Like, no,
I'm like,
this
what?
is not
I'm like, what is
Highlander.
the knife gonna do?
The Highlander.
Keep the motherfucker with the gun busy. I don't mind fighting multiple people. I can take a beat down. But anyway, I was just sitting there and I'm in embryo position. I'm holding the knife. I'm rocking back and forth. I'm scared. I'm talking to myself like, yo, it's on. It's like there's no fight or flight at this point. It's kill or be killed. Fuck it. We got to do it. But I ended up sitting there for 2 minutes, panicked as fuck, and nothing ever happened. I did know one of the dudes in the car. I guess this was a Friday because the next Monday I caught him at school and tried to throw him out of a second story window, but the windows had bars. So
Wow.
they didn't bother me about it anymore. I actually
Huh.
ended up beating his ass with a desk, but that was back when you could fight in school and not much happened. 3 days in school suspension.
When did they put bars on the windows? What the hell were
They're
y'all
like
going through after
great.
I left
This
that place?
was 91, 92.
Ooh, what the hell were y'all going through after I left that place? We did not have bars on the windows.
Listen, there was a lot of wannabe gangsters
Particularly,
running around.
well, hell, there's a lot of wannabe gangsters running around in the 80s too. But
Yeah, but they wore chokers, so
yeah, we had real gangsters for that matter.
studded gauntlets and shit. Jerry
Yeah,
curls, you can't be too tough.
having a Jerry curl make you angry. All that maintenance.
I believe.
So that was the most scared you were when a group of Mexicans were chasing you and you heard gunshots.
Yeah, the gunshot fucked me up. The rest of it, I got jumped before you recover. It ain't that bad.
Oh. You know, every time I've been shot at or in the vicinity of gunfire,
Damn.
I've never really felt afraid, I guess. I don't know
Did
why.
you have a
Again,
knife?
I did not. I had nothing to deflect the bullets.
Kind of fucking Jedi do you think I am?
I didn't know. We were in a big crowd, and this girl I knew, she came up to me crying, and she said something that was incomprehensible to me. And I was like, what? And then it occurred to me what she had just said. And what she had said was, he's got a gun and he's after me. And then I heard the gunshots. And that's when I thought, because she was standing right next to me, I was like, oh, I'm
That's
probably
what you
going to
come to
get
me
shot
for.
at. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, probably going to get shot because I'm standing next to her. My boyfriend at the time grabbed me and pulled me away. So there was that time. I don't know. I'm good in a crisis. It's weird.
It's not weird. That's a good thing.
The most scared I've ever been has actually been I was afraid of me because I was so enraged that I had no control over my actions. And that scared me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for this to be blamed on a man. Go ahead.
Oh, well, it was absolutely a man's fault because he pissed me off.
Uh,
You already knew it was a man because who else is going to get you that mad,
because
right?
women don't take accountability for their bullshit.
No, look, there was this dude who had a crush on my cousin. And she and I were trying to have a conversation. between the two of us. But because he had a crush on her, he kept getting in between, one of those look at me kind of people, clearly trying to get her attention. So I asked him nicely. I was like, look, dude, I'm trying to have a conversation with my cousin. Can you chill for a little bit and let us do this? I was very nice. I swear I was. But he just kept at it to where we couldn't have a conversation. And then I remember the rage building up in me. And I remember telling myself actively, don't hit him. Don't hit him. Don't. And that's when I felt my hand connect with his face. And that scared me because I'm a big proponent of being in control and mind over matter and all that. That moment, I had no control over my body. None. It was just, I felt my hand against his face. Worse than that, because of course, all the guys that were around were like, whoa. My cousin's cousin, he wasn't my cousin, said to me afterwards, oh, and when he punched you, you took it like a G. I was like, he didn't punch me. What are you talking about? And he was like, okay. And when I went home, underneath my eye was puffy, where I guess he had hit me. Didn't even feel it. Because I was just that mad. And that's the most scared I've ever been.
You need therapy.
Noted.
Okay, that's perhaps an overreaction, but yeah, work that out.
Star.
I've only ever had 2 times I've ever been afraid. One is short, one is medium in length. So the short one first is I was about 15 and I was walking across the street with a friend of mine to a gas station. We weren't crossing the street at a crosswalk like we were supposed to. We were in the middle of the street. Just as we step into the turning lane, a bus passed in front of us. All you could hear was bop, 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 and you could hear the bullets hit the bus.
Wow.
Fucking Little Wayne.
So I wasn't really shook immediately, but when you look at the whole picture, dang, if that bus hadn't passed in front of us,
Right.
it might not have been so cool. I don't know that I was scared as much as I was shook afterwards, which usually what happens to me. I'm good in a crisis. Like something happens and I react. I don't necessarily freeze. The number one most scared I've ever been was after having a prolonged labor. I had gone into shock. I really wasn't feeling any more pain, but I could see everything that was going on, although it was hazy, and I could hear everything that was going on. I couldn't respond, but I hear them say something about emergency C-section, her heart rate has dropped, whatever. I think what was going on with me, why I was so scared, outside of the fear of losing her, was I couldn't respond. Like I'm literally trapped in my body. It's like some stuff that you see on the stories. Like I hear you and I'm responding in my mind, but nobody hears me. So I start seeing this flood of little hospital uniforms come in and people are doing this and people are doing that. But because I'm in shock, I'm really not feeling anything. And then they said her heart stopped. And I feel this coldness on my stomach as they're preparing me for the C-section. And the doctor comes in and he appears over my bed and he was like, look, probably nobody's explained to you that you've gone into shock, blah, blah, blah. I know you can't respond, but I pretty much figure you can hear me. He was like, I promise you, I got you. And I'm just looking up at him and can't respond, but I hear him. And it was slightly comforting, but not really. So anyway, they got her back resuscitated or whatever. They're wheeling me down the hall. My grandmother's crying. My mother's looking concerned. My ex was looking really, really concerned, and he has tears in his eyes. And I'm just like, oh, in my mind, I just wanted to scream. So we get on the surgery table and they said something about her heart rate has stopped again. And it was like the doctor just appeared hovering over me again. And he was like, look, her heart rate is dropped. I need you to count from 100 backwards. And as the mask came down on my face, I could feel the warmth of my tears on the side of my face rolling down. I'm counting 99, 98. And the next thing you know, before the mask even hit my face, I passed out. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't take this shit no more. That was the most afraid, most scared I've ever been. And I really do think it was in part because the control freak in me had no control. I couldn't even voice my opinion or respond or do anything. I'm
Right.
just laying there at the mercy of these
Wow.
hospital people.
Yeah, that would be scary.
Like, oh my God, this pregnancy has been so, please just let her make it. You know what I mean? I'm just like praying and couldn't do jack.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot. Woo. Look, I'm over here
Yeah, but
like, woo.
we both made it. She was
Yeah.
healthy, 6 pounds, about to have her own. So she's all right.
Well, I know. Ain't nothing wrong with her lungs. I love her though.
If you can see her face, you said ain't nothing wrong with her love. She turned around like, yeah, 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 yeah. But then she heard you say, I love her. And then she smiled like, oh,
Yeah.
silly.
I mean, she knows who she is. That's all right.
She just gave the hair toss twirl. Like,
Mm.
so anyway.
So, when you guys argue with your significant other or whoever you're dating or whatever, whatever you're doing, are you fair about your arguing or do you go for the jugular? What's your technique?
I get myself out the way first. I'm not an arguer. I tell my children all the time, there's no point in it. If you're right, you don't need to argue. If you're wrong, the fuck you arguing for? And if you don't know any different, shut the fuck up. I don't argue
Mhm.
whatsoever. And I get that it's not necessarily always facts. A lot of times it's opinions and emotions. All right, you go that way, I'm going to go this way. And after we calm down, we can discuss our difference in opinion or emotions. But I'm not sitting there hollering and screaming and talking petty shit. That's.
I'm not much of an arguer either.
What?
No, I'm not. No,
You ain't
listen.
got the lie, Storm.
No, 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 no. I like a healthy debate. And what I mean by that is
An argument that you win.
no, no, no. I like when ideas go back and forth. But if it's about something serious that we're actually arguing about, like I'm really not trying to argue about stuff that matters. Because of the situation I talked about earlier, I will try to remove myself because I know that when I get mad, I might say things that I don't, let me not say I don't mean. I absolutely mean them, but they may not be nice or formed in a way that is conducive to the
A
sustenance of
healthy.
the relationship.
Yeah, bitch ass nigga up in here buying Tony Braxton tickets. Motherfucker, did I say I like Tony Braxton like that? Carry your ass home.
Whole time.
So to speak. But yeah, I'll just be like, let me just go in the other room or something because I don't want to do it. My problem comes when the party of the second part wants to try to keep me there because they want to get this resolved. We need to do this right now. That's when, yeah, it will go sideways in a hurry. So I don't get,
Mouthy.
I was going to say violent. And by that, I
Yeah,
don't,
because you're the type of person to snuff people for trying to kick game to your peoples.
and by that, I don't necessarily just mean physical violence. I also mean violence of the tongue because I have a sharp tongue and I know this. So I try to remove myself, but some people won't allow you to do that. And I don't like that at all. Don't do that, people. Don't do that.
Emotional men will be the death of us as a species.
Okay.
Telling you.
All men are emotional.
Some control it better than others.
Y'all just don't believe you're emotional, but you're absolutely emotional. And it's annoying. But go ahead.
So the chick that argues for fun. All right, yeah, go ahead.
I debate for fun.
You know what? I'm not an arguer. I was married once before. We were together for like 13 years, and it took us 6 years to have an argument.
Wow. I am picturing a whole lot of passive aggressive bullshit going on.
But it wasn't, though.
It's just you.
I'm not an arguer. Even in my last serious relationship, we had like two arguments. And it was that second argument that I realized, you know what? You really made a bad choice because dude likes drama. And he's one of those that is so used to dealing with dramatic women that if a woman is not acting in a certain way where she's cussing you out or throwing stuff or
Yeah.
y'all having all this back and forth exchange, you feel like she don't care. And I'm about my peace.
Yeah, the
I don't
zen of it
argue.
all.
The second argument we got in was because I found out some information he would have probably rather me not find out. And I didn't talk to him the whole day. I needed to calm down. It was just what it was.
Hmm.
And when he found out what it was about, he's just like, and you talk to me now and blah, blah, blah. Why you need blah, 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 blah. Because I can't talk to you right now.
Thank you.
Leave me be. Let me,
Process it.
sort my thoughts out.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we can revisit this. And I'm not talking like 3 days later. I'm talking tomorrow. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
later on tonight or whatever. Let me calm down first because I don't get angry often, but when I do get angry, I'm venomous. And the thing about that is that if I've already told you, leave me be, give me a chance to work this out in my own head first, or at least calm down somewhat from it, and you keep after me, all I want is my peace. All I want is my quiet and to be left alone. So I'm going to say pretty much anything that I figure is going to get you off from me or
Yeah.
away from me. And I know that's petty. I know that's immature in a way. But it's just what it is because if I've asked you to respect my space and you don't, then you got what you got coming.
I completely agree with that.
Could I have better control? Of course I could. But I tried that and it didn't work in my own way. It wasn't sufficient for you. So
Yeah.
So the lesson of the day, people, is if somebody says leave them the fuck alone or leave them alone for a
just
minute,
back
it
up.
could save your relationship.
Absolutely.
There's a movie out that the two of you haven't quite seen yet. It's called Malcolm and Marie. And there's been all these discussions, online and everything about the movie and what people think's going on or what their take is on it. And my whole thing about it is this. If things have gotten to the point where you're sitting up arguing, that's what happens with a lot of couples. Stuff that they let go over their head and they looked over or just said it ain't worth it. And then it all comes spewing out in this one big argument, which happened in that movie. A
Yeah.
lot of couples are like that though. My thing is, if you have those truthful, hard conversations when stuff comes up, you don't
Right.
get to that point where it's just like, I hate you and yeah, and all this other stuff. You don't get there because a lot of times what happens is people end up in these big ass blowouts about little stuff because that pressure cooker has just been building and building and building and building. And that one last little thing just was like poof, and it all just comes spewing out. You
Yeah.
have the hard and truthful conversations when stuff happens. Like, there's one thing, you left the toilet seat up. For some people, that's like, I don't want a cold, wet ass at 3:00 in the morning because you left the toilet seat up. Okay. So for some people, that's a huge thing. For other people, it's like, okay, I turn on the light. If the toilet seat is up, I'll put it down.
See,
But
and
if
that's
that's one of
me.
those things,
No woman on earth.
No, that's me.
oh no, that's me. After
Yeah.
living with a man for a long time, it was just like, I've learned.
Yeah, I grew up with a brother, so I always look. So it's not
But that one
that
time,
big of a
it's
deal.
his fault.
It's
But if
it's
that's one of the
mildly
things,
irritating. Yeah, it doesn't piss
no,
me off.
cold wet ass at 3:00 in the morning is not mildly irritating, but
No, well, I'm saying I would never have a cold wet ass because I always look. It's mildly irritating that I have to put the seat down.
I mean,
um,
gravity's in your favor.
It doesn't piss me off.
if it
Right.
annoys you to that extent, then you need to have a conversation and not, I keep fucking telling you, put the toilet seat down. That's not a conversation. You're literally yelling at someone, and more than likely, that's not going to be received well. And then more than likely, that person is just going to keep being, like whatever about it. You sit down, you talk to them, you say, hey, you know what? It really, really annoys me. Could you at least please put the toilet seat down when you finish?
And then when you go in there and it's still up every time you go in there?
That's just a person that doesn't care, because some men don't like going into the bathroom and seeing feminine care items. Some
Sure.
men, that's a big pet peeve for them.
My pet peeve is guys that shave over the sink and leave.
Oh my God.
I cannot stand
Every
that.
woman's pet peeve.
Oh my God.
My ex used to use Magic Shave.
Uh,
Oh
Could take that
my.
smell.
That's what I'm saying. First of all, you're doing it over the sink. That's number one. Number two, that smell is horrendous.
hmm
I used to hate for him to do that. But here's the thing, that was mildly annoying to me. The only time that it really would tick me off is when I would go use the bar soap and there was hair in it.
Oh my God. That too.
The hair being in the sink is just kind of one of the things. Get a paper towel, wipe it out. But for some other people, that'll be a big issue.
Yeah. See, to me, that's more triggering than the toilet seat situation. Also, put the cap on the toothpaste. It takes like 2 seconds. What are we doing?
And that's a big argument between couples too.
The bigger picture in all of this is people. If something small bothers you, address it while it's still small. And there are going to
Small.
be certain people in life that just, it doesn't register in their brain. Let little shit be little shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't let it layer and become big shit, and then you
You flying off the handle.
off the handle at some stuff that doesn't
Right.
even require that much energy. But it's not even about the current situation. It's about the current situation and several past situations.
Same
Right.
thing with side hose.
What? Well, okay. If you say so. I don't even know what you meant by that, but okay.
If it's over 5 years ago, why you still beefing?
I have to agree with you on that.
What?
I feel like if somebody cheats on you and you agree to stay with them and forgive them, then you need to forgive them. And
You don't need to keep bringing that
you
stuff
can't
back
keep
up.
bringing that same thing back up every time you get mad. You
Yeah.
don't get to do that.
Because you didn't really forgive them. You just using it to hold over their head.
Exactly. If that's the case, you should just make a clean
Leave.
break. Yeah, don't be bringing up
Glad
shit.
2 women said it. Get well soon, Katie. If you like the show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe. And if you don't, tell everybody you know. It's the Threesome Pod on Twitter, the Threesome Podcast on Instagram.
And
And don't
on
forget
Facebook.
the.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're going to be there, though.
One
Because
day.
that's where the old people go, apparently.
Yeah, someday we'll be together.
Then we could do live episodes.
Yeah, place
Yep.
for
Well,
us.
we can do it on Instagram too if somebody were on Instagram, but
Find a
you know.
place for us.
Listen, I'm peacefully protesting.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Take
I'm
that,
just saying,
Zuckerberg.
if you were on Instagram, you could do daily selfies for us.
Oh.
I'm not a selfie taking dude. I ain't model-esque. Fuck.
By us, I mean me.
So
All right. So anyway, we're out.
peace
Peace.
out.